You're now listening to another episode of the Renegade Podcast, and I'm interviewing the one and only DogeBuddha. He is a YouTuber. He talks about various amount of topics, but his most iconic stuff, as of right now, is his diary Wimpy kid videos. And I just released one a couple weeks ago. Actually, a couple days ago. It's gone viral. Let's go. 3, 2, 1. Hello.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Oh, hi, what's up?
Hey, bro, how you doing?
I'm good, how are you?
Doing great myself, man. So my first question is that that recent Diary Wimpy Kid video that's gone viral. You know, it's almost at like 80K last couple of days. Was that a video? Like, cause I know you were doing videos about Diary Wimpy Kid, and those become very popular, which we'll get on to, you know, later in the interview. Was that video that you just made? Like, was that like sort of part of a series, or was that something sort of it came up in the moment type of thing?
Yeah, it definitely came up in the moment. I think a lot of videos I do nowadays are just something I just kind of think of whenever I'm out and about. And I'm just like, oh, that sounds like a good idea for a video. So, yeah.
So my next question is your channel name and logo. What was the inspiration behind it? Because that's a bit of a interesting name for a channel, to say the least.
Yeah, you can say that again. So, the name DogeBuddha came from... This is actually a name that's been with me for a while. It's been with me ever since I was... I guess 12.
Okay.
Because I came up with this name when I was in 6th grade. So I remember one day I had a world history class in 6th grade.
Yeah.
And we were learning about different religions all over the world.
Yeah.
And I remember finding Buddhism to be pretty interesting. So I think I was making a Skype account or something. By the way, this was back in 2014.
Okay.
The Doge meme was pretty big, and I loved the Doge meme.
Yeah.
So, I don't know what I was making an account for, but I was trying to think of a catchy name, or like a creative name.
Yeah.
And I was thinking, okay, well, I love the Doge meme right now, and I think Buddhism is kind of cool, so I just put both together, DogeBuddha.
Wow, that's interesting. That is interesting. What was sort of the inspiration for your channel as a whole? Like, did you sort of look at another YouTuber and try to sort of kind of, I wouldn't say copy, but try to imitate, or did you just sort of came up on that sort of thing, sort of came up sort of on your own type of thing?
Well, ever since I was young, I always did kind of want to make YouTube videos. Like, I remember watching stuff like The Angry Video Game Nerd and Nostalgia Critic when I was younger.
Yeah.
And then when I got a little older, I remember watching video essays. So I always kind of wanted to do stuff where I talked about my interest. I found a lot of inspiration in 2 YouTubers called Exo Paradigm Gamer and King K. I think they were the main inspiration for my channel starting. But yeah, really the idea just me wanting to start a channel really came from the fact that there was no like in-depth reviews on the Guitar Hero games, and I love Guitar Hero.
Okay.
It's a very personal series to me.
Okay.
And I was just like, you know, I was wondering, you know, maybe I should do something like that. Maybe I should make a review, a really in-depth review about the Guitar Hero games, because no one else has really done it.
Okay.
So, yeah, that's where it all started.
Wow, that's interesting. So, again, you have videos that gone very viral, but I want to talk about your most popular video. Do you know what your most popular video is off the top of your head?
It's the downfall of Diary Wimpy Kid.
Yes. This is such a funny story. So this was like when it's funny. It's like a week after that video came out, right? I saw obviously I'm on YouTube all the time, so I see it on my recommended page, and I just kept scrolling past, you know. And then next thing you know, again a couple days later, I see that video. It's like 200K or something. I'm like, okay, I gotta check it out. So I checked it out, and I was just blown away by just, you know, the attention to detail and the passion, and sort of it felt more like, it wasn't like you were like, again, you were like sort of discrediting the whole thing, which I think too many video essays that are critiquing art do, and you weren't like attacking the author. You know, you're sort of like, okay, this series was close. Sort of, this series kind of defined my childhood. Now it's changed, and now it's like the way you sort of kind of woven a lot of things into one video was really cool. So was that video again like? Was that video? Did you always want to do that video, or was that something again? You know, another Diary of a Wimpy Kid book comes out like last year, and now you're like, okay, I want to talk about this.
So a few months before I did that video, I did a video about Diary of a Wimpy Kid, talking about the differences between the online version of Diary of a Wimpy Kid on FunBrain compared to, you know, the actual book series. You know, what kind of changes were made.
Yeah.
And that video was actually, it was my most popular video before that one. It had over 100,000 views, and I was just like, you know, maybe I should do another Wimpy Kid video because it seems to do good. And again, this is another video idea that just popped up in my mind. I don't know how I came up with the idea, but I just remember thinking, you know, Diary of a Wimpy Kid has really changed over the years. Like, I mean, I remember reading the books all the time. I actually went through the series again in 2021, and sometimes I go back to it. But I was just thinking about Diary of a Wimpy Kid, and I'm like, you know, the more recent books were really different from the older books, and I was just like, maybe I can make a video about that. How I think the original title for that video was "What Happened to Diary of a Wimpy Kid," and I was just kind of noticing some things were different and maybe not for the better.
Okay.
So that's kind of how that evolved.
Okay, interesting. So my next question would be, how long does it take for you to make a video?
It all depends. The latest one only took a few weeks. So really the longest thing is the script, because I really have to think what to write down. I think that's the hardest part about any of this, is figuring out how to write stuff down, what to talk about, and how to say it in a way that's interesting but concise and not confusing. Okay. You know, it's not, if you have to be complex, try not to be complicated, if that makes any sense.
Okay.
And then after that, I record the script. That only takes a day or two. And then it's editing after that. Editing can take about a week or two.
Okay.
And then I make subtitles for I do the thumbnail as well.
Yeah.
And then I do the subtitles. I let YouTube, so in YouTube, for those that don't know, you can upload your script into the subtitle system of YouTube.
Wow.
And it'll do it automatically for you. I like to go in there and just fix it up a little bit. That way it's not so ugly.
Yeah.
And then pretty much after that, I just upload the video. So
okay, that's interesting. I didn't know that. That's interesting. So my next question really to you is, it's more of a general question, is that where do you see your future of YouTube, like your channel in general? Because I don't know if you being on YouTube is like, is that like a full-time thing? Are you working something on the side? You know, and do you see yourself making videos like you're making videos right now, like 10 to like 15 years from now?
Wow. Well, first of all, this is definitely a side thing. I actually go to college right now. I actually want to get a doctoral. This is something I just do on the side because it's really fun.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't really expect, I make a little bit of money off it. I don't really expect to make a lot of it. It's just a fun thing I do on the side.
Okay.
As for if I see myself doing this in the future, I still have some more ideas I want to get to, and I'm sure I'll come up with more. As long as it's fun, I'm definitely going to do it. I know I'm going to do some ideas that really don't get a lot of views, but I won't really care because I had a lot of fun doing it. Okay. I did a video in 2022 called the Mountain Dew Dew Store Experience.
I saw that. That's great.
Yeah, I knew that video wasn't going to get a lot of views, but I enjoyed the hell out of that video. It was a blast to make.
Okay. Interesting. Who's the most famous person to say, I love your channel, I love your work? That could be like a YouTuber or someone like outside of that.
Oh, I really don't know. That kind of reminds me of a time I made a review on a Flash game series known as Alice is Dead.
Yeah.
And there was a developing team that they were making a remake of the first 3 games.
Wow.
And they commented on that review saying, this was a great review. And they said they would send me a free copy whenever the remake was done. So I think that's probably the closest thing.
That's actually interesting. So I don't know, like, I don't know. This is a bit of a personal question, but I don't know do you live in the U.S. or?
Yeah, I'm American.
Okay, all right. So, how does that sort of, because, we have the sort of the events that happened yesterday, like, not even yesterday, a couple days ago with the whole, like, Charlie Kirk situation. And have you ever sort of, like, how do you sort of kind of process those things? Because that's not the only type of thing that's happened. Obviously, other things as well, politically it's unstable, the economy is kind of like, it's like a roller coaster. It's always been like that, but it feels like, things are at a boiling point. Growing up, like, did you ever, like, felt that? And how does that sort of, affect the content that you make?
That's a very heavy question, but I don't know. I don't really think the outside world really affects it that much. Again, I kind of just do stuff for fun. So, I mean, I guess if there was, like, I don't know. Again, I make these videos for fun. So
Okay.
I guess in a way you could say this is a stress killer.
Okay.
So, if something's in my personal life is getting too much, this could definitely serve as a way to, help
Okay.
take that pressure off, or, at least help it. It probably won't take it off, but it could definitely help me cope with it.
Okay.
But I don't know. It really doesn't affect my videos, I think. I'm going to say what I'm going to say. I mean, at the end of the day, I don't really think I make serious videos. I mean, they're just videos about video games and book series and movies and TV shows. And I'm just going to say my opinion because that's how I feel.
Okay.
And I feel like my opinions are valid. I feel like whenever I mention my opinion in a video, I can back it up.
Okay.
So.
All right. So that's a great segue to my next question. I feel like ever since like the whole like Gamergate thing happened, you obviously remember that, right?
I don't know. I mean, I heard of it, but I think I was a little. When did that happen?
2014.
Okay, I was 12. I don't know. I don't think so.
Okay. So there was this sort of rise of sort of rage bait content, video SCS. They were just venting, and that's starting to get a lot of views. And a lot of their arguments are again not good arguments. They were just they're pointing out things that weren't the whole nitpicking, the whole sort of cinema sins without like any of the comedic aspects. It's just straight up just breaking things line by line, frame by frame, and it's just they weren't skilled enough to like actually give a critique of what they're doing. They were just ranting for the sake of ranting. And obviously you have the whole political grifting thing that they do on the side. Now that's become the main thing. Now it feels like how do you sort of kind of combat that? Like, how do you sort of combat that type of content? Because I feel like your videos are kind of like the opposite in a good way.
I don't really try to combat it. I just say my opinions, if I think, like, what's it called? Twisted Metal 3, right?
Yeah.
It's kind of, it's a bit of a controversial game, I guess, in the series, and I don't really like it a lot. I think my opinion has changed ever since that review, but I still really don't like that game.
Okay.
And if you go to the comments of that video, you're going to see people defending it. You're going to see some people hating it, but, I didn't care what the people that didn't like the game had to say. I mean, it's okay if you want to comment that you disagree with my opinion. That's totally fine, right? But I'm going to say what I'm going to say, I don't like Twisted Metal 3. I know there's people that love Twisted Metal 3, but I didn't like it. I'm going to tell you my opinion, and that's it.
Okay. It's interesting you mentioned Twisted Metal, because didn't they make a show about that recently?
Yep.
Wow, okay.
Yeah, the first season was in 2023. I still have to watch season 2. It just came out a month ago, I think.
It's so funny. I saw the trailer of it when it first came out. I'm like, oh, this looks wild. Like, do you like the show? Like, do you think it's like faithful? I haven't played any of the games or watched any of the shows.
I actually did review the first season in 2023, about a few weeks after it was wrapped up. Season 1, I do like season 1. It's not 100% faithful, so season 2 is definitely more like the games and the actual Twisted Metal competition from what I saw. I haven't watched it, but I did watch the trailer, and the last episode of season 1 also like sets it up. I think season 1 is more set up for the characters and the world. I think season 2 is going to be the Twisted Metal contest.
Okay. Interesting. How did you get introduced to Diary of a Wimpy Kid? How does that happen, like, for you?
I think I was in 4th grade, and my teacher, she had just books off to the side. If you got done with your work, you could pick one up and just start reading it. And I think she had Roger Rule's The Last Straw and Dog Days. I don't remember which one I read first, but I read one of those, and I was like, wow, these are really good books. I really like it. The humor is great, and it's interesting to me too. So after that point, I read the rest of the series that was available in 2013, I think, and then I read a few of them, or I kept reading them for a little bit, because they come out year by year, and I think I took a little bit of a break whenever I got to high school, and then just one day in 2021, I was reminded of Wimpy Kid again. And I was like, I wonder if Kenny's still doing, if he's still releasing the books. So I went back and saw that he released 4 or 5 new entries while I wasn't reading the series. So ever since then, I've been, reading the new entries. And I also read the entries that I missed while I was in high school.
Okay. Interesting. Do you think the series, will ever end? Or do you think it's just going to become like a Simpsons thing? They're perpetually... Greg's perpetually a teenager the whole way through. How do you think, if it were to end, how would you end it?
I'm sure it's going to end one day, but I'm sure Jeff Kinney has a few more things up his sleeve. If I were to end it, I would definitely have it so Greg graduates middle school and moves on to high school. I don't know exactly what the perfect ending would be, but I would definitely do that if I was writing the last Wimpy Kid book.
Yeah. What's your favorite... Okay, so it's kind of a 2-part question. What's your favorite Diary of a Wimpy Kid book? And what's your... the book that you think is, underrated by the fan base, in your opinion?
I have to think about that real quick. I think maybe my favorite one is The Ugly Truth.
Okay.
Because I think that kind of touches on a personal level. Okay. Or maybe, I'm not sure how to phrase this. That one's the most realistic one, I think, or the most down-to-earth one.
Okay.
It talks a bit about, puberty and what it means to grow up. And I feel like that could resonate with a lot of kids that are reading the books.
Yeah.
It certainly did to me when I was reading it in 4th grade.
Okay.
The most underrated one... honestly, I think The Ugly Truth would also be my answer, because I don't know. I don't see a lot of people talking about that aspect whenever they bring that book up.
Yeah. It's funny for me because, I think I was introduced. It's funny. I think I might have seen the first because I watched the 3rd movie in theaters. That was funny. That was a funny experience. I like the movies. But my real introduction to the books was definitely around 2010, 2011. This was where it felt like the brand. It felt like Diary of a Wimpy Kid was at its peak, right? Everybody was reading it, everybody was laughing to it, and I found it really entertaining. But the interesting thing is that every time I try to go back, I always just read the books that everybody thought it was the best. The first 3 or 4 books, to me, those are the pinnacle of the series. Everything else is just kind of filler. You know what I'm saying? It's yeah, it's cool, but it feels like they keep repeating the same stories, and then I come across your video, and I'm like, okay, this guy completely understands what I'm trying to say, but he puts it into a format that obviously I'm not granted, right? So I don't know, man. Like it's one of those things where like you see like the adaptations coming out, and it's just like I don't know. It feels like the brand's getting milked. Weirdly enough, like I don't know. Like, how do you feel about that?
Yeah, I definitely agree with you. That the series, they're really trying to push out a lot of stuff for the series. Um, as for the books, I mean, I think you know my opinions about them already.
Yeah.
Again, I still read them only because I just love to see how ridiculous stuff gets because it's so off the rails right now. You can't expect it to ever be like down to earth or even somewhat realistic anymore.
Yeah.
As for the adaptations, I mean, I wouldn't mind them so much. My thing about is if you're gonna adapt a book into a movie, you have to do enough to change it so that it justifies going through the same story again. I know I mentioned this in the Dire Wimpy Kid movies video that I made, but I like Cabin Fever because I think it's the best animated film out of there because it does enough to have the same feel as Cabin Fever and still have the same story.
Yeah.
But it also does its own things to make it worth watching it rather than just reading the book again.
Yeah.
And the live action films, not including The Long Haul, also do this because you see Greg actually grow up and you see character development between all the characters too. Like everybody talks about in Roderick Rules how Greg and Roderick, start to have a bond together, and that's really not a thing in the books.
Okay. Interesting. Do you think, or let's say somehow, some way, right, another live action Diary of a Wimpy Kid comes out and it has the same cast as the first three, but let's say this new story is it's just a new story, right? It's not based on anything. And this was going to be the end of the live action series. Because I really feel like, it would be interesting. Maybe maybe that's like an Elseworlds take, or maybe like Greg has a dream and he's all grown up now and he starts to I don't know why, but I don't know what. Have you watched Pain and Gain?
No.
Okay, but you heard the movie, right?
Pain and Gain?
Yeah, by Michael Bay. It's based off of this.
No, I don't know what that is.
Okay, so alright, so Pain and Gain was based off of this gang in Miami. So I think it's called the Sun Gym Gang. And again, Daniel Lugo low key, man, he was like Greg, kinda, he was he had very, very high aspirations. Granted, Greg like Daniel, he tried to kill people to get money and stuff, and obviously Greg wouldn't do that. But the delusion of grandeur is kind of similar, There's been videos where people talk about Greg being a sociopath or a psychopath, and initially I'm like, okay, these people are kind of reaching, and I watch them oh damn, this guy was actually crazy. And I kind of wish I don't know. I think a movie like that, granted that movie the Pain and Gain is R-rated. I think this one will probably be PG-13 or something like that. I think that would be very interesting. Greg finally. It finally catches up to him, and he has to face the consequences. Because it feels like Greg doesn't face any consequences. It's just he F's up, and then he somehow gets away. But I'm like, what is this? He hasn't learned anything. It's and it's just that's how I feel.
That's an interesting take on the series. It is funny that you mentioned that. I think Jeff Kinney was doing a Reddit AMA, a Reddit Ask Me Anything.
Yeah.
And I don't remember what the question was, but I do remember Jeff saying something about how he always envisioned that Rowley was going to be the successful one. He was going to be the one that, got the job he wanted and was having the best life that he could. And Greg was kind of, he was the failure, I guess you could say. I don't remember the exact words, but it was something like that.
Interesting. Because say what you want about those first three movies. I felt like those first three movies. I feel like out of any of the kid book adaptations we've had the last 15, 20 years, that isn't based off of a mega IP. I feel like those ones, like despite all their flaws, I feel like those ones felt like, felt like most like the books, right? And also they had room to like, dabble into different stuff that wasn't sort of emphasized or make up new stuff that kind of worked. And it's so funny because, I don't know why I would say this. So, my brother, right? One of his first like crushes that he ever had was Chloe Grace Moretz, and I think she was in the second movie or the third movie, I don't know. And it's so funny you mentioned that to me recently. It was funny. It's like, okay, that's funny. But the other thing was that, how can I say this? I tried watching The Long Haul, man, and I'm like, what is this? Like, it's just, it was just like, it was so unnecessary, and it felt kind of disrespectful. I'm like, because there were rumors. I even remember those rumors. Like, there were rumors at the time that they were going to make a fourth movie with the original cast, but the studio are like, we're not going to do this because of whatever reasons, which didn't make any sense. Those movies were profitable. They weren't that expensive to make, right? People went out and see them. I bet you if they were to make one right now, I think that would be a hit. Like, box office. I don't know how good that movie would have been, with the original cast. But I think it would have been a lot better than what we got. But that's just me.
Yeah, no, definitely. I mean, The Long Haul is just, it's a mess. And it, as you said before, it's really nothing like the book series. It's funny, I mentioned that one thing that I think filmmakers need to do when they're adapting a book, is they need to do just enough to change it from the books so that, viewers will watch the video, or viewers will watch the movie and not feel like it's just a carbon copy of the book. They'll have a reason to go see the movie rather than just reading the book again. And I feel like The Long Haul does do some of that stuff. Like, I definitely think there's enough different material in the movie to justify, or what's it called, to make readers want to watch it rather than just reading the book again. But the changes are just unnecessary, and it seems like they're trying to be too cool and too edgy because, Greg is super into video games. He wants to meet a streamer that he really likes. And I just feel like stuff like that is very unlike Wimpy Kid, or like, the best Wimpy Kid books.
Okay. Interesting. So I mentioned, Greg being, off kilter, like literally a couple minutes ago. Do you buy into when people say, man, Greg Heffley is like he's a sociopath, he's a simp? Do you buy into that, or do you kind of agree with that sort of kind of statement?
Well, it's funny. I actually did watch that Greg is a sociopath video. I think that was by Monkey Jones. I remember his channel back in the day. But, I mean, on one hand, he definitely isn't a good kid. I mean, he's still a kid. He's going to do stuff that's malicious because he doesn't really know any better. But on the other hand, he does do stuff that's a little too far.
Yeah.
And my thing is, I don't know. I don't 100% want to say he's a sociopath because he's a kid and he's still learning. And, there's also another theory video where people point out Greg really doesn't have the best home life. And that could be another reason for why he does the things that he does.
Yeah.
So, I don't think he's a sociopath, but he definitely does certain things that are a little too far.
Okay. Do you feel, like, when you're making your videos, right, like, do you feel pressure to, like, sort of, change things up a little bit? Like, it's obviously because your most popular videos, most of them are about Diary of a Wimpy Kid, right? So, do you feel like, are there days where, like, you're trying to make a new video, you're like, man, like, if this one doesn't pop off, then I could at least, again, do you feel that pressure from your audience or burden?
No, not really. Like I did the most controversial Dew flavors. I mean, none of my Mountain Dew videos ever really do that great. But again, as long as I'm having fun with it, I'll do it. And I really had a lot of fun doing that video because, I've been following new Mountain Dew flavors ever since, like, 2014. So not only was doing that video fun because of the discussion, but I was also remembering like where I was when I tried all those flavors. So, I do like to do a Wimpy K video, every once in a while, maybe a couple times a year, because I know it will get, views and engagement. But, again, I'm definitely going to do some of the other videos that I do because I know I'll have fun with them.
Okay.
And, despite the fact if they'll get, 100 views or 100,000 views.
Okay, interesting. Have you ever scrapped a video?
Oh, yeah, I have some. I definitely have some scrap video ideas.
Okay. Can you, name some of them?
Yeah, so back in 2020 and 2021, I was doing something called the full discography reviews. So I went through an artist's entire discography, just talking about all the albums they released.
Okay.
And in November of 2021, I did a review on a band called A Day to Remember.
Okay.
But originally, that month's video was going to be on Alien Ant Farm.
Oh.
But as I was writing that script, I didn't know what to say about their music, so I did A Day to Remember instead.
Interesting. It's funny you mentioned them because what music are you listening to right now?
I listen to all kind of stuff. Mostly metal. I'm a big metalhead. I listen to all kind of metal artists and metal genres, but I also like, a lot of rock stuff. I also like a lot of pop stuff.
Okay.
I've been trying to find, obscure pop artists from, the mid-2000s to late 2000s.
Okay.
That's something I really like. Another genre I've been trying to get into more is gothic metal.
Oh, yeah.
I found this band called Lovelorn Dolls, and their first album's amazing.
Okay.
So,
do you listen to hip-hop at all, or...?
Yeah, I listen to some hip-hop and rap. I don't listen to too much rap, only because I just don't really know what's out there. I think the latest rap album I listened to was called Orokisaki by a guy called Nicky Diamond.
Oh.
And the reason why I did that is it's full of Ninja Turtles references.
Oh,
and
my God.
Rap that has,
All right.
I think it's really good, though. It also sounds a lot like MF Doom stuff. I like MF Doom a lot. He's one of my favorite rappers, so...
Okay.
Yeah.
Have you listened to new Clips record?
What's that?
Clips. Like Pusha T, Malice.
Oh, no,
You have to listen to that record.
Alright.
I really... It's funny you mentioned MF Doom, because there's actually a lot of, MF Doom sonic... Grant Pharrell produced the whole record, top to bottom, like he always does with Pusha T, but... Yeah, Earl Sweatshirt album 2 weeks ago, that was pretty dope, Joey Badass dropped a record a couple weeks ago. That was really good. I heard of Sam Gilardi. He's not a rapper, but he's an electronic music producer. Have you heard of him?
No,
Okay, you have to listen to him. He's dope. It's funny you mentioned the mid to late 2000s. That literally is his sound. Granted, his music is timeless for me, but that's think of a decade. That's sort of the sonic inspiration, right, of a lot of his sort of tracks and music. So I think you should really check him out. Another guy. Have you heard of JPEG Mafia?
Yeah, I've heard of him. I don't know his music, but I do know he's a rapper.
Yeah, you have to listen to him. The last record was really, really good. Have you heard of Flume?
No,
Okay, so Flume dropped this, he's an Australian electronic music producer. He literally invented a genre called future bass. I don't know if you heard of that, but that was a big thing back in the day, like Trap Nation and stuff. I've been a fan for over a decade at this point, and again, he dropped this record with collaborating with some Australian indie artist called Australian indie artist. It's called, and the record's called Dumb, but it's anything but that. It's a bit of a mind fuck, the sounds and stuff. So I don't know if you're into that, but if you are, it's a great record. That's all I would say.
Okay, I'll give it a listen. Sounds interesting.
Okay. What is your favorite movie of this year?
Let's see. I had to think about what I watched this year. I know I watched Fantastic Four. Like, you mean like movie that came out this year, or
Yeah,
movie
came out
I watched this year? Okay. Let's see. I remember watching Fantastic Four. Hold on a second. I gotta see what came out this year.
Okay.
Honestly, I think that's the only one I watched. I'm not too much of a movie guy. I'm definitely more of like a TV series and video games guy, even books.
Okay.
The thing about like movies is you have to sit there for over an hour and watch it. It's not like this TV series where you can just watch it in pieces.
Okay.
I guess you could technically do that. Well, I mean, you can't do that with movie theaters. I mean, you can watch it on a streaming service, yeah, but
Okay.
you
Alright,
can't leave the theater and then go back in and you're like, wait a minute, why is this not where I left it?
Yeah, that's funny. Maybe that's an idea from another Dire Wimpy Kid book. That would be funny. There's this movie coming out literally next Friday. It's called Him. It's a football. It's like a sports horror movie. It's produced by, again, you must have heard of Jordan Peele, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so he produced it, right? And it stars, Martin Wayans. It has Julia Fox. She's in it. The Jim Jeffries, the comedian, he's in it. He's like a trainer. It's watch the trailers. It is wild, and they're saying it's really good. I want to watch it. I don't know if I can watch it first day, but I think you would enjoy it because it's a different type of movie, right? Like it hasn't been a sports horror movie or anything like that, so it's interesting.
That sounds interesting. I know one of my friends saw Weapons, and he said that was really good, so I had to go watch that.
Okay.
There's a movie series called VHS.
Oh.
They make it's a found footage
Yeah.
horror series, and they
Yeah.
make a movie every year, and I always look forward to those releases. I love VHS movies. They're
Yeah.
just so good, so special.
Okay. Interesting. I heard of the Tron franchise.
Ron?
Tron, yeah.
Oh, yeah, I've heard of it, but again, I haven't.
You should watch Tron Legacy, man. That movie is my favorite movie till this day. I don't think that's ever gonna change, bro. Tron Ares is gonna come out in a month from now.
Right, I saw that.
I'm looking forward to it. I've been waiting 15 years for a third Tron movie. I know Jared Leto's in it, and I don't like him, but I mean, it's that or no Tron movie. So I mean, I gotta just take what I can get at this point. But hopefully the movie's successful, so we can get Sam and Cora and Alan back for Tron 4. So yeah. It's funny you mentioned the TV. You're more into TV series. What is your favorite TV show of all time?
Oh man, that's a pretty heavy question. I'd say, I have to think about every TV show I've watched now. I don't know if I could tell you my favorite, but I could definitely give you some contenders. The 2003 Ninja Turtles cartoon is really good. I love that one so much. The 2012 one's good too. I just like the 2003 one better.
Yeah, okay.
The original Twilight Zone series was awesome.
Yeah.
It's so good. The stories and the suspense and
all
of that, awesome.
Yeah.
I also like To Catch a Predator a lot. They were doing a good service with that show, but some of the characters are also really funny. It also helps that Chris Hansen he trolls all the time, so.
Yeah.
Those are the only three. Drake and Josh. I love Drake and Josh. Okay. That show never fails to make me laugh. I remember watching that when I was a little kid, laughing at it. I'm with you. And I watched all the seasons last year, and I was still laughing at it as an adult. So
yeah. Nickelodeon, man, they was cooking with some timeless shows, bro. Like, I would even throw in Victorious, like, in there as a show that's like still holds up. And Leon Thomas, that guy, he's like the R&B guru now. It's crazy. It's cool to see. But have you watched Stranger Things?
No.
Oh, okay, you should watch it. I know.
I'm behind on a lot of stuff.
Yeah, it's all good. It's all good. It's just, yeah, that show for me, that's probably my favorite show. Like right now, like I was watching it recently, man. Again, the storytelling, the writing, the acting, the effects, the music, it all beautifully comes together. Another show I really love was the the OG Teen Titans show. Like that was
that was good.
That was good, especially like, especially bro. I was watching it. It's so funny. I was watching it a week ago, and I did not know, bro. Raven was catching bodies in that show. I guess because you know you see clips out of context and stuff. But when you watch the show, she's everywhere, and I really love that. I really hope when she eventually makes her live action debut, they really sort of honor that side of the character, because I feel like her character is kind of misunderstood. Like I feel like in terms of just like, because whenever people talk about like the DC Big Three or the Super Big, I feel like she's not in those conversations, which is weird because like she's more powerful than people like Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman. I know power scaling is kind of stupid in that sense, but like I don't know, man. If some of them writers wrote for her, I don't really think that it would be that crazy of a sort of conversation to put her there, at least in the vicinity of that. So yeah.
Right. I don't know too. I mean, I watched Teen Titans when I was younger, but I did enjoy it a lot. So I don't know too much about the characters. But we're talking like DC and good TV shows, bro. Batman Beyond kicked ass.
Yeah.
That is such a good cartoon. Amazing. Everything about that show was amazing.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. That show was amazing. Total Drama Island. That show was dope. That show was funny. Obviously these are very obvious ones, but Amazing World of Gumball, that's my show. Like, period. It's cool that they kind of made like a sequel, like series to it, which is cool. Have you heard of Detentionaire?
No.
Okay, you have to watch that show. Sure, the ending of that show is a little like they were supposed to make more seasons, but the company that was making it, I think they went bankrupt, so they couldn't make any more seasons, which is sad. But I mean, that show is so fire. It's like mystery and action, and it's so cool, man. It all takes place in high school, so it's kind of sort of bring back memories. Another dope show. Sure, the show is a little bit on the nose. But Sidekicks, that was a show. Have you heard of Sidekicks?
No.
Okay, so Sidekicks is essentially like, My Hero Academia?
No. Again, I got a lot to go.
Okay. So it's like, so essentially, the story of Sidekicks is that this guy named Eric Needles, he's going out, I think he's going to middle school, high school, something like that. And he's going to this school that is primarily for like superhero sort of beings, even though he's not a superhero, right? His dad is like he's like Superman, I think he was called Metro Man or some shit. And he has this sort of robotic, he has his robot as his butler, Alfred. It's kind of like it kind of flips the tropes of like the Batman sort of mythology, you know what I'm saying, kind of. And then he has his sidekick, funny enough, it's called Trevor, and they get in a bunch of shenanigans. There's this woman, Val McGlavin, she's like the biggest diva, but she always sort of comes in the clutch and saves his ass. This other person, other girl's Kitty, I forgot her name, but she's obsessed with Eric, and Eric doesn't want, Eric is like trying to like, it's funny, it's a very funny show. I really wished that they made more seasons of that show, because there was so much material they could like sort of kind of parody. It was cool. Another show that I really saw, another show I really loved was that's a tough one. I don't care what anyone says. I think Sherlock with Benedict Cumberbatch, bro. That show was peak, man. Anyone watch that Sherlock show series?
No.
Okay.
I'm into I don't know if that's considered like nerdy stuff, but I'm into very nerdy stuff like sci-fi and I guess fantasy.
Yeah. Yeah, that show was fire. What's a what's your favorite book as of right now that you like to read over and over again?
That's a really good question. I don't really read books over and over again. I'm very much a kind of one and done guy.
Okay.
Like after I'm done reading a book, or this actually applies to anything. After I'm done with any sort of media, whether it be a book, video game, movie, it always festers in my head, and I think about it for, I don't know, the next few weeks, I guess. I just read the Hunger Games books. Those were really good.
Okay.
Really good. I'm reading the Divergent books. I read the first two. I'm on the third one. Those are good too. I think I like the Hunger Games more, but
yeah,
they're also pretty interesting. Before that, though, I read a book series called The Books of Elsewhere. I love that series so much. Everything about it is just perfect to me. Well, not everything, but almost everything. So I just remember wanting to read that story or the books. Like whenever I picked up the books, I just didn't want to put them down. I was just addicted to them. They were so good. So I guess if you ask me for my favorite book, it'd probably be one from the Books of Elsewhere series.
Okay. Have you heard of Foundry Side, the book series?
No.
So how can I say this? This book is like, you have to read this. You have to. It's a trilogy of books, right? It's by Robert Jackson Bennett, and he's the best author right now. Honestly, like the way that he sort of melds like anti-capitalism, and he somehow balances with action and comedy, and it's a very powerful book, man. Because it's like you see what's going on in the world, and you read these books. It's sort of like. It's probably the best critique of capitalism I've seen in a book ever. Granted, I haven't read a lot of books. I'm not like a book scholar like I was back in the day when I was younger, but that book really sort of stuck by me. Another book I really love was More Than This by have you heard of Patrick Ness?
No.
Okay, so Patrick Ness, he's a UK author. And it's funny enough, one of his books that got adapted recently, which wasn't really that good, was Chaos Walking. It just got dumped in like 2021, 2020. It's like a young adult novel. They messed the whole thing up. Like, don't watch that movie. But More Than This, again, like that book tackles, homophobia and dystopia and climate change, and it's set in post-apocalyptic London. It's crazy. It's like it's wild. It's such a great book. And I would love it to be adapted. Granted, I would wish Patrick, I don't want the guys who made Chaos Walking. I want someone like a prestige director, like someone like a Christopher Nolan, or even a Ridley Scott, like someone who, because the book has such big ideas about the human consciousness and the human spirit. Because I feel like I don't want it to be watered down just to become like an action chase movie. Like, no, that would just kind of defeat the whole purpose,
Right, I hear you.
Yeah. Are you into sports?
No.
Okay.
I do get exercise though. I love riding my bike. I've loved riding my bike ever since middle school, so I do that just about every day.
How you got into an accident with your bike? Like you tripped over something, or?
No, I've been very lucky with it. I haven't gotten into anything like that.
Okay, so I'll tell you a story. So you mentioned you love riding your bike. So this was when I was like 10 or 9 or something like that. And it was like a summer day. The weather was nice. The breeze was like, I felt like breeze. It was like, again, it was a windy day, but it was a very nice day. And me and my family, we were living in Brampton, right? Because I live in Canada, right? So Brampton's like, it's near Toronto, like the GTA area. And our neighborhood's funny because our neighborhood's kind of like a cul-de-sac, right? Where it kind of loops, and there's different like streets and stuff. So I was riding my bike and I was going around as usual, right? And for whatever reason, I just tripped off my bike. I never got hurt. I never tripped off my bike, but I tripped off my bike and I just tumbled. I hit my knee on the pavement and I'm like, okay, I'm screwed. I thought it was over. Like, I scraped my knee, scraped my finger. I was bleeding, right? And I had bruises like everywhere. It was bad. Like, yo, I thought I was cooked after that. Like, I was drinking water. I was crying, to my parents. Yo, this is over. This is. It's funny because like I think like I hear other people's stories and they get seriously injured. And I look at me, man, I got lucky, But in the moment, you don't think that, right? In perspective. That's why, like, I always say, like, take a step back and look at it at a different perspective. And ever since then, I never rode my bike. I don't know why. I mean, maybe I need to get back into that because I do have, I do have a couple bikes in my garage. So they're getting dusty. So I gotta, rev them up at some point.
It's a lot of fun, man. I tell you that. But that does sound a little horrible. I mean, more the fact that you thought it was just all over.
Yeah. I mean, how you ever like? It's so funny. This it seems like this topic of bikers riding in driving lanes and stuff like that. It's become a big story, especially up here in Canada, where like I think there was a law that they're trying to pass a law to remove bike lanes, which I'm like, what are you guys doing?
That's horrible.
I'm like, what? Like, what are y'all doing? Like, I'm just like, it's just the misinformation around bikers is crazy. In Canada, we're a little bit fortunate because our news is like, at least regulated. In the U.S., it's crazy. Like, people are out here calling you a communist if you ride on a bike to work. It's insane. Like, have you ever dealt with like that or like road rage?
No, not really.
Okay.
I mean, there's been times where someone was, I don't know, I guess I never really had an experience like that. People in my neighborhoods are just very friendly.
Okay. Have you ever taken a trip outside of the U.S. or outside of the state that you're living? I don't know where you live, but in the U.S. or?
Yeah, I was born in Tennessee. I don't live there anymore. But yeah, I've been around the U.S. a little bit. I never left the U.S. I do want to do that one day.
Okay.
Yeah, I like to go somewhere in Europe. I'm thinking Italy.
Yeah.
That'd be nice, I guess. I don't know where else I'd like to go, but
is that your background? Or
what's that?
Are you Italian or what's your background?
No. Well, my last name's Polish, so I think I have a Polish heritage, I guess.
Okay.
I don't know too much about where like my lineage starts. I just know that there's definitely some Polish in there because of my last name.
That's cool. That's cool.
It's a little freaky.
Okay, that's cool. What is the next video that you're working on? You can give us a tease.
I don't have one in the works right now. I'm taking a little bit of a break. I usually do that whenever I release one. But I'm thinking, hold on a second. I have some ideas written down here. Okay, so I guess I'll just give a few ideas that I have. I don't know if any of these will be the next video. This is just some of the stuff I'm thinking about. I was thinking about doing a video where I review every single TV show that Gordon Ramsay made in regards to rescuing restaurants, so stuff like Kitchen Nightmares, and I'll even throw Hotel Hell in there because I've been watching that stuff since I was a teenager, and to this day I still watch it. I mean, it's the same clips over and over again, but there's just something that's so addictive about it.
Yeah.
And I know he released a new show this year called Secret Service, so I definitely want to. I think that would be a nice video. I think I'd have a good amount of stuff to say, and I'm passionate about this because I've been watching that stuff ever since I was like 14 or 13.
Okay.
So.
Okay.
Go ahead. What?
You can keep going.
Okay. I was thinking about doing a video about a band called L7 last month in August. So L7 is just this rock band or punk band. I absolutely love them. They're my favorite band of all time.
Okay.
I was thinking of maybe doing a video about their story or maybe like a full discography review again. I'm not 100% sure, but something along those lines.
Okay.
I want to do a video where I talk about TV channels that were dedicated to horror movies or any kind of horror stuff.
Okay.
I don't really know a lot about that. I mean, I know there's certain TV channels that have played like horror movies around Halloween or whatnot, but I don't know any like channels that were dedicated to horror. Like they would only play horror stuff.
Okay.
I know there's Shudder, which is a streaming service that has all kinds of horror stuff.
Okay.
So I kind of wanted to look into that. I think that would be an interesting video.
Yeah, I know those are interesting. Those are dope ideas, man. Wow. Okay. What was your celebrity crush while you're growing up, or do you have one right now? I don't know if you're with anybody or not.
I'm not gonna lie, I wasn't really into girls. I wasn't into anybody when I was younger. Those kind of feelings developed when I was a lot older.
Okay.
So I guess I have to get my current one. I definitely say Jenna Ortega.
Okay. That's interesting. Mine's change every day. But if I had like a top three in no order, right? I think it was Millie Bobby Brown, Haley Steinfeld, and I think Margot Robbie. I think my first actual crush was Lana Del Rey. I don't know if you know her or not, but
yeah, I know her.
Okay. I used to have like day crushes. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, back in the day, I don't know why, I was flipping the channel and Juno came on. And, and I mean, my younger self did not know what the hell's going on. I watched like 5 minutes and I saw at the time, Ellen Page's character. And for some reason, my young brain, like, I don't know why, like, my young brain just, like, went crazy. And I thought about her the whole day, and then I forgot about her. Just, like you know what I'm saying, the next day. Another one was, I was watching Indiana Jones with my family back in the day. And I think this was one with, like, they had to, like, battle the Nazis or something like that. And there's this blonde, like, henchman for the Nazis. I thought she was hot. But yeah, I was a little crazy, but it's so funny. I'm gonna get a little sidetracked here, but have you watched Deadliest Warrior?
I think I've heard of that. Is that what is that?
Spike TV. So it's like they essentially they pit like two warriors from the same era against each other, but they had to like be. It would be like, for example, it would be like, you know, a samurai versus a pirate, or it's a ninja versus a Spartan, like that, those type of things. And I don't know why, man. Those were fire. I rewatched them.
That does sound pretty cool.
Yeah, but it's very like late 2000s, early 2010s type. So again, there's certain things that the host be saying. They're like, man, that cannot fly. You know, man, the recession era, that was a funny era for TV for sure.
Right.
Have you heard of 1,000 Ways to Die? The show.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I watched an episode or two when I was younger. I had no idea what was going on really, but
yeah, the one that traumatized me the most was this episode where this guy gets his head like deep fried or something like that. And it was like, what the? I'm like, I can't watch this. No way I can watch this. This other one was this guy he was like at a cashier at a grocery store, and the guy just had like a heart attack. It was just wild. Like, what the hell? They're showing this on TV. Like, wow. Go ahead. Another TV channel I still love is Detour. And more specifically, when they like show out like new resorts, new parks, I'm like, I want to go there. Back in the day, now I'm like, I'm good, man.
Yeah, I hear you.
You're saying something.
I was gonna say the one death I remember from 1,000 Ways to Die was there was a sword swallower, so the people that stick those long swords down there. Esophagus, is that what it's called? I don't know. The throat.
Yeah.
And I guess he did an umbrella, so he decided to do an umbrella, but it accidentally opened while it was down his throat, and you can imagine what happened after that.
Oh, yikes. That's crazy. Um, how was your schooling experience? I don't know. Like, did you graduate? Are you still in school?
Yeah, I'm still in college.
Okay.
Are you talking about
Like,
college, high school, middle school? Or
yeah,
everything?
that. How you ever how was that sort of experience for you in the U.S.? Like, how sort of did you have to deal with bullies? Did you have to deal with, again, relationship drama? Like, what was the tea?
No, I think I had mostly a normal high school, just schooling life. I had friends and everything. I never had to deal with bullies at all. The number one thing I had to deal with, and this actually didn't come until I was in high school, I was diagnosed with Crohn's disease in 2018.
What?
So, yeah.
Is that like
wait.
What's Crohn's disease? You got to refresh.
It's an autoimmune disease that attacks the entire digestive tract.
Yikes.
So, side effects usually include diarrhea, nausea, vomiting, all that good stuff.
Oh damn! Is that like one of the deadliest diseases? Like, people can't, or is it? I'm assuming it's treatable because
Yeah. I don't know if it's one of the deadliest diseases, but it's treatable. But yeah, so I was going through high school. I had to go through multiple medications,
Ooh.
and there was days where I just couldn't go to school because I was just feeling so bad and was on the toilet all day. So I had to fight that. So that wasn't fun, but I guess from the rest of it, it wasn't bad. It was I didn't have to do with bullies or anything, just my own insecurities. But who doesn't when they go through high school? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I'm with you on that. Oh my god, my schooling experience was, man, that was a little bit of a roller coaster because, so funny. So when I first started out in public school, right, I was on an IEP because IEP because I was kind of slow in the sense of just I wasn't getting I wasn't doing as well as the other kids. You know what I'm saying? And I think primary school was normal-ish. Until grade 5 was wild. Grade 5 was the year I had to come out of my shell and get out of my shell, and I was sort of befriending everybody, and there was again complete chaos as always in recess. I'll never forget where I was. I don't know why, but there was this sort of mystery going on in school where these books are scattered across somebody was taking these books and they're ripping them up and they're scattering them all over the recess, and one of them was actually in the toilet, right? And I tried to solve it, and again, granted, they got the person who did it, but I'm I couldn't crack that case. It was what? And then there's another one where, because this was, I think it was on on MLK Day, it was Black History Month, right? And everybody had to sort of do their version of "I Have a Dream" speech. My version was 20 minutes long. Yeah. And this other guy, granted he's a lot better now, but this guy, Donovan, I'm still friends with him to this day. We still talk on Instagram and stuff. But this guy, I don't know what happened, but everybody liked him. He was an interesting guy. And then all of a sudden, literally after the Christmas break, this guy's personality changed on a dime. It was like Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde. It was I don't know what happened, because I think he went to Florida for vacation, right? And I don't know what happened, right? But he started acting erratic, right? And granted, it was a long time ago, right? And the details are kind of fuzzy, but I really remember there would be classes where he'd just be interrupting class. He'd be throwing a tantrum or something. It was he was trying to, I don't know what was going on. And he had to just get sent to the office. I think he got detention. My funniest detention story, because I got a couple, but my one that sticks out to me was, I think it was in grade 4, I think. And I think, we were reading, it was reading class. That's something we read a story, right? And everything was going normal. And then all of a sudden, I don't know what happened, somebody, I don't know, somebody like broke the vent or something like that, or a piece of the vent. This woman, right? She thought I did it on purpose. I didn't touch it. I was on the other side. For whatever reason, the teachers believed her, right? And I got sent to detention. And then, next thing you know, she was there for something else, like, completely different. And we were just like, and she was just staring at me. I'm like, I didn't do nothing. Like, you did it. I didn't do it. Like, it was just funny. Like, yeah. There's a couple other ones. I think it was middle school. And, grade 8 was a weird year. Like, grade 6 and 7 were, like, normal-ish. Like, except for, like, you know, they tried to do this after school thing. And, like, I wasn't happy. And so I stopped going, right? You know, but it was grade 8, right? I enrolled in this intramurals, right? Have you ever done intramurals in any of your sort of schools?
No.
Okay, so in our school, that was like a big thing, right? Like they prided themselves. They go to other schools and stuff like that to like get on battle other sort of teams and stuff. But so I was so funny. So for whatever reason, like, I was going crazy at ball hockey. Like, ball hockey, I'm not that bad at ball hockey. Back then, I was like, for whatever reason, whatever I was doing, it was working, right? I was getting into the sticks, I was defending, I was scoring goals. I swear I scored like 9-10 goals. We had like 4 or 5 games, something crazy like that. And I'll never forget, right? We was facing, because my brother, you know, he played on one of the ball hockey teams, and one of the games, I don't know why, I just stormed out because they weren't giving me the ball or something like that. It was funny. And then the final, right? I almost didn't play because I was that pissed off. And I'm going to play, you know, I don't know, whatever happens, right? I score. And I kid you not, my brother just runs in and the funny thing about that is like, I score. And my brother just literally walks in the same moment. He suits up and he's playing. It's the funniest thing. And our team won, and I think we got like a little like trophy or something like that. It was fun. It was fun. Another one we had. I'll tell you this. Maybe my last story, middle school, was I had a rap battle.
Oh, really?
I had a rap
Okay,
battle.
so?
I was like. Because it's funny because I always love hip hop, but that year more specific, there were 2 albums. One was not hip hop. This one was, like, I think it was. I was listening to so much. I was listening to so much Kanye's Yeezus and Lana Del Rey's Born to Die. You know, those 2 records are completely different from each other. But for whatever reason, I was so amped up, and I was talking so much trash during that time. I was kind of feeling myself, you know. So, I was, I was talking to my friends, say, hey, you know, there's this rap battle thing going on. I'm like, hey, who's doing it? And, it's a guy named Keisha. Oh, okay, Keisha, yeah, he's cool. I thought I was going to win. And initially, right, I was ahead in the rap battle. I was hammering him. And then, next thing you know, I say this bar about 50 Shades of Grey or some shit. And I just, like, I fucked up. Like, I fucked up from there, and I got absolutely caught.
Wow.
Like, it was, like, real steel. Like, I missed the punch, and I got pummeled to submission.
Yeah.
And everybody's going crazy. Chairs are, like, being flipped. It was like crazy. Man, those were the days, bro. Those were the days, man.
Wow. That sounds a lot more eventful than my middle school experience. But,
yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Was there any, like, stories, you know, not from, like, your experience, but have you heard stories about, you know, crazy things happening in your schools?
No, I mean, in high school, I saw a few fights, but that's about it, really. I don't think there's anything that really that crazy that happened.
Okay. Interesting.
I just remember one time. This is not really an interesting story, but after I released my first ever review on YouTube, one of my friends was playing it in 7th period, and I was like, bro, like, I appreciate the support, but that's not my proudest video. Can you, like, not play right now. I was like, when I release the Guitar Hero 2 video, you can blast that. Put this to the side for now, if you don't mind.
Okay. Okay. Interesting. What is your favorite video game?
Oh, I don't know. It's really hard when people ask me, like, what is your favorite blank? Because there's just so much. So, if I had to choose, though, I'm going to say Power Wash Simulator, only because I just keep going back to that game. It's so relaxing. It's so fun. I love booting it up, cleaning stuff, and just putting on music in the background or, whatever. And it's so relaxing. I always keep going back to that game, and I'm so excited they're going to release a sequel soon. Okay. So I'm going to be playing the shit out of that, too.
Okay. It's funny you mentioned that. Do you live by yourself? Do you still live with your parents? What's the situation like?
Yeah, I live with my mom.
Okay. Are you into like Need for Speed, Forza, car games in general?
I played a few of the Need for Speeds. I like them. I think my favorite Need for Speed is probably the Hot Pursuit reboot they did back in like 2011. That was easily my favorite.
That was dope, man. Oh my god, it's so funny. It's so funny. I ever watched Top Gear?
I've seen some clips. I know what it is. I haven't seen a full episode, but I do know a few things about it.
Here's the thing. Me and my brother were so obsessed with that show, and it came to a moment like I have to play a car game. I have to play something, anything, right? Because my mom's brother, he owned a PC, right? He owned a personal computer, and he had a ton of games on there. I don't know why. I tried playing Halo, and for some reason, like, my character just kept dying. I just tried to keep jumping, and he just, like, it was so funny. But, I think it was Need for Speed, like, Underground 2, and I think Need for Speed Carbon, and I love those games. Still do. And I got, like, again, my brother got a PSP, and he had like FIFA on there and Obelix and Asterix. Have you heard of that? Have you heard of that game?
I think so, yeah.
Okay, that game was so much fun, even though it was really ridiculous. But he had Need for Speed, right? Mm-hmm. And I loved that game. I forgot Need for Speed. I loved that game so much. And just again, it sort of kind of snowballed from there. I got Hot Pursuit. That was super fun. Then I tried to get Need for Speed. I got Hot Pursuit. Need for Speed Most Wanted is my favorite car game ever. Like, it's incredible. Sure, it's not as good as the original, but for like a reboot, like, it was dope. Need for Speed Rivals, without like the graphics alone are incredible. But I remember I tried getting that game so badly for the original Xbox and Xbox 360. And I couldn't get it, right? My dad got the Xbox One version, and it just, again, like, our Xbox 360 obviously couldn't like carry that, so I had to get an Xbox One. But by that point, I wasn't really like I was more into Forza, right? And it was just it just kind of snowballed from there, and I just stopped playing car racing games for a while until I always kept up with like new releases and reviews, but I wasn't like, the game, like the car racing game that really got me back into it was not even a car racing game. It was GTA, right? Mm-hmm. And I was staying over someone's place. I was playing that for like the whole day. It was so much fun, even though I was kind of just kind of goofing off. I wasn't playing any story, anything like that. So yeah.
Yeah.
So, what is your favorite food that you like to eat?
Let's see. I mean, I'm a very picky eater. Okay. So a lot of times when I go to a restaurant, I'll definitely get chicken tenders. But aside from that, I love a good breakfast burger. Okay. So a breakfast burger is essentially just, you got the patty, you got a fried egg, or any other kind of egg, really, some bacon and hash brown, and it's just so good. I love that.
Okay. All right. What's your favorite dessert?
My favorite dessert, probably a sugar cookie, like those frosted sugar cookies you can get from the store. I know some people hate those things. I love those things. So
okay. Do you read comic books?
Yeah, I sometimes do. I read more of them like a few years ago. I was trying to read a lot of the 2099 Marvel comics.
Okay.
I read a few. I read Doom 2099, Spider-Man 2099, and The Punisher 2099.
That's cool.
So, yeah, I'm more into like books now, but
Okay.
maybe one day I'll return back to them.
Okay.
I want to read the Last Ronin, the Ninja Turtles series. I want to read that because that seems really good.
Okay. So we're heading towards the last part of the interview. So what I do here is I do like a sort of a Q&A sort of game where I give you two people or two franchises or two video games or whatever. You have to pick one or the other. Difference is you can't say both and you can't say neither. So you have to pick a choice, right? And you cool with that?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. All right. Okay. Diary of a Wimpy Kid or Peanuts?
Wimpy Kid.
Okay. And also, I'll add. If you want to add a reason or a story why you picked that your choice, you're free to do so.
Okay. Well, I mean, it's just simple. Wimpy Kid is a lot more personal to me than Peanuts. I mean, I like Peanuts. Peanuts is cool, but Wimpy Kid's just a lot more personal. So that's just why.
Okay. Calvin and Hobbes or Garfield?
Probably Garfield.
Okay.
Again, Garfield's just a bit more personal. Like, I know more Garfield stuff than I do Calvin and Hobbes, so.
Okay. DC or Marvel?
Marvel. I like some DC stuff, but I think Spider-Man's probably my favorite superhero, and there's just so much good Spider-Man stuff. I mean, there's the 2018 Spider-Man game. I love that one. I remember playing that when it first came out. That's a very special video game to me.
Yeah.
And I also love all the different Spider-Man variants there are, like Spider-Man 2099, there's the symbiote, there's Ben Reilly, there's stuff like that.
Okay. Millie Bobby Brown or Megan Fox?
I guess Megan Fox.
Okay. Margot Robbie or Nicole Kidman?
Probably Margot Robbie.
Okay. Raven from Teen Titans or Harley Quinn?
Probably Raven.
Okay. Spider-Man or Batman?
Spider-Man.
Okay. Doc Ock or Green Goblin?
Ooh, that's a good one. I'm gonna say Green Goblin.
Yeah.
I just think like the connection that Norman and Peter have in a lot of stories is, I mean, it gets so tainted whenever. Well, I mean, whenever there's a story where Norman is the Green Goblin, and then Peter Parker, as Spider-Man, finds out that the Green Goblin's Norman, and there's a lot of like baggage there.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. Tom Holland or Tobey Maguire?
Tobey Maguire.
Okay.
I mean, listen, I really do like all of their movies, but Tobey Maguire is he's the GOAT.
Okay. Okay. All right. Metallica or Arcade Fire?
Oh, definitely Metallica.
Okay.
I don't really know a lot of Arcade Fire, but I'm a big Metallica fan. So I even like Saint Anger.
Okay.
I know people don't really like that album, but I actually really enjoy it.
Okay. Muse or Oasis?
Muse, I guess. I don't really know either. I mean, I know they're both bands. I know like a song or two by them, but I guess I'll choose Muse. Oh, actually, you know what? Yeah, I'll choose Muse because I like Knights of Idonia or something like that. That's a good song.
Okay. Kanye or Kendrick?
Probably Kendrick. I actually listen to. I think it's just because I know more Kendrick than I do Kanye.
Okay. Drake or Lil Wayne?
Probably Drake. Again, same reason. I just know more Drake than I do Lil Wayne.
Okay. DMX or Jadakiss?
DMX. I don't know any songs by Jadakiss.
Okay. Pusha T or Mos Def?
Mos Def.
Okay.
I don't really know any songs by Pusha T. Mos Def was in a song by from The High and Mighty, and his verse was good. So
Okay, interesting. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles or Fairy Godparents?
Ninja Turtles easily.
Okay. SpongeBob or Teen Titans?
That's tough. Again, I watched Teen Titans when I was younger, and I did like it a lot. But I mean, I'm going to go SpongeBob on this because I don't feel like there is any TV shows that are as good and as unique as the first 3 seasons of SpongeBob. They're so funny but so enjoyable. I mean, I don't think there's anything else like it.
Yeah.
And the later seasons aren't as good, but I don't know. There's still some good episodes here and there after season 3, and the first movie was also pretty good.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Drake and Josh or Victorious?
Oh, Drake and Josh easily.
Okay.
I mean, I watched a little bit of Victorious when I was younger, but Drake and Josh, that's just timeless. It's so funny. It's just so good.
Okay. Justin Timberlake or Justin Bieber?
I guess Bieber again. I don't really know Timberlake, so.
Okay. Miley Cyrus or Olivia Rodrigo?
I guess Miley Cyrus.
Okay.
Again, that's just if I'm choosing one artist or the other, it's probably just because I just know more about them.
Okay.
Like more songs by them.
Okay. Lana Del Rey or Billie Eilish?
I guess Billie Eilish because I actually heard a song from her.
Okay. Beyonce or Prince?
Probably Prince.
Okay. Michael Jackson or Frank Sinatra?
Michael Jackson, only because he helped make the Sonic 3 soundtrack, so.
Okay. Eminem or Elvis Presley?
Eminem.
Okay.
Again, I know. I mean, I know a few Elvis songs, but I know, I listen to entire albums by Eminem, so.
Okay. Jay-Z or Nas?
Nas.
Okay. Tyler Creator or Earl Sweatshirt?
Tyler. I
Okay.
like his stuff more than Earl. I haven't listened to much new Tyler stuff, but I think Wolf's a pretty good album, so.
Okay. Pharrell or Timbaland?
Pharrell. You mean Pharrell Williams?
Yeah.
Yeah, I listened to a little bit of Nerd, so.
Okay. Okay. All right. Future or Young Thug?
Probably Future.
Okay. 21 Savage or Denzel Curry?
I guess 21 Savage.
Okay.
I don't think I've heard a song by either one. Again, it's not that I'm not into modern rap, I just don't know a lot of it, so.
Okay. Tribe Called Quest or Wu-Tang Clan?
Let's see. Probably the Wu-Tang Clan.
Okay. Tupac or Biggie?
Let's see. I'll go with Tupac.
Okay. Thinking. Usher or Chris Brown?
Usher.
Okay. Al Pacino or Robert De Niro?
Robert De Niro.
Okay. Christopher Nolan or Stanley Kubrick?
Nolan.
Okay. Tarantino or Coen Brothers?
Tarantino.
Okay. Spielberg or Scorsese?
Spielberg.
Okay. Breaking Bad or Sopranos?
I've never seen either, but I think the Breaking Bad memes are better than the Soprano memes, so.
Okay. GTA or The Last of Us?
Let's see. That's a really good question. I mean, I like both Last of Us games, and I like all the GTA's, but I guess I'll go with the GTA's because they've been in my life a lot longer than The Last of Us. So
Okay. Need for Speed or Forza?
Need for Speed.
Okay. Madden or FIFA?
Madden, only because there's a funny story that a YouTuber I know told about Madden.
Okay. Final Fantasy or Twisted Metal?
Twisted Metal. I played a little. The only Final Fantasy I played a little bit of was, I think, 13, or is it 12? Whichever one has lightning.
Okay.
But that was years ago.
Okay.
But yeah, definitely Twisted Metal.
Okay. Star Wars or Mission Impossible?
Star Wars. I haven't seen Mission Impossible at all, and I like the prequels and the original trilogy.
Okay.
I mean, Episode 7's all right. 8 and 9, and the Clone Wars TV show, the 3D animated one, that's really good.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, with you on that. Iron Man or Captain America?
Probably Iron Man.
Okay. Interesting. Thanos or Doctor Doom?
Ooh, probably Doctor Doom. I enjoyed Doom 2099, the comic series, a lot, so that's my reason.
Okay. MF Doom or Andre 3000?
MF Doom.
Okay. Beatles or Queen?
Queen. I don't really know a lot too much about the Beatles, but I do enjoy Queen a good amount, so.
Okay. John Lennon or Freddie Mercury?
Freddie Mercury, easily.
Okay. Taylor Swift or Paul McCartney?
I guess Paul McCartney.
Okay. As cities, Toronto or Chicago?
Okay, I'm gonna say Chicago only because that's where Danita Sparks is from. Danita Sparks is she made that L7 band I mentioned earlier.
Oh,
so yeah.
That's cool. Okay, that's cool. Hot Topic or Spencer's?
Hot Topic. I think Spencer's a little too edgy for my taste. Not to mention I got a lot. I know that's rich for Hot Topic, but I got a lot of my stuff from Hot Topic too. Like I dress like a metalhead. I wear all black. So
Okay. Nirvana or Queen Age of the Stone Age or whatever they're called. Queen of Stone Age.
Queens of the Stone Age. Nirvana.
Okay. Kurt Cobain or Chester Bennington?
I think I'll go with Chester Bennington.
Okay.
I like his really powerful vocals.
Okay. Interesting. Messi or Ronaldo?
Ronaldo, only because I guess I know more about him than I do Messi.
Okay. Alright. Okay. Zack Snyder or Michael Bay?
I guess Zack Snyder.
Okay. Second last one. Taxi or Uber?
I guess Uber.
Okay. Alright, last one. Cookies or cupcakes?
I guess cookies, because sugar cookies are my favorite dessert, so I'll go there.
Okay. Bonus. Pizza or fish and chips?
Oh, pizza, definitely.
Alright. Double bonus.
Keep going. I'm okay.
Okay. Malls or outlet malls?
Probably just standard malls.
Okay, yeah, that's the end of the interview. Really glad this came through. I didn't think you were gonna say yes, but I'm really glad you did. Great conversation. I'm really hyped for your new videos. I'm gonna be checking them out when they first come out. Notifications, everything. So yeah.
Well, thank you for having me on. This was actually a lot of fun.
Yeah, for sure. So yeah, have a nice day, man.
All right, you too.
Bye. That is another episode of the Renegade Podcast. I hope you guys enjoy it. Same way I enjoyed this one, putting this one together. Bye.